Hey, thanks for... Oh, man. In the middle of the video. Okay.
To help talk about the farmer?
I don't think anything changed. Oh no. Hey y'all, welcome to Tablenauts. My name is DOOLIN, and today I am tickled to death to share with y'all about a little game called Mythwind that I've been playing solo about 10 times now. This game's a legacy game. Every time you come back to it, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit more upgraded. You're going to be cooperatively working together and trying to build this town and this holler. And when thinking about what I can share about this game that has not already been shared in other YouTube videos, I can't do this the whole time. Every time I've seen people talk about it online, I think they've done a better job reviewing it than me, than what I could do. However, one of my favorite things about this game is that it looks dramatically different than the very first time I played it. So what I would like to do is invite you to DOOLIN Farms as we take a look at 2 days of what it's like playing Mythwind after 10 plus plays as the farmer. Now, obviously, your game might look completely different than mine. You might have built different buildings or built different equipment for your farm, and that's okay. But I'm showing you what mine is because it does feel a lot different. And I think for those plays, I'm going to do it in my normal accent. All right, let's get started with our time as the farmer. In case you guys were wondering where did that accent come from, I'm from Kentucky, and yeah, I think I'm always kind of just holding that accent at bay, and it spills through every once in a while. But yeah, no, I love where I'm from. This isn't really a teach, so if you want a teach, I would go somewhere else. This is kind of just to show you what it feels like playing the game deep into, or not deep even, because I'm not, there's still a lot of the game to see. But this out here is the town. When you first start the game, you only have the longhouse and a lot of wildlands that you have to need to tame. I've built 3 places, but there are also 3 places in my build queue. That is not something that I've heavily done. I've upgraded my tower one time. Though, if you look over here, I've focused heavily on making money, which I have a lot of, but also upgrading myself. I've gone to the longhouse a bunch to give myself some upgrades, as well as I've spent money trying to clear out the weeds and also basically do the best I could with efficiency. So there's a couple things that I'm really excited to get to do this game, and we're going to walk through 2 days. So first things first is we have to always flip over the weather card. I'm going to be following the town icons here, but the day phases for the farmer who I'm playing as right here. So the determine weather card gets flipped. Okay, so we're starting off with an event. That's what this little icon means here, and it's also sunny. I am in spring, and spring, when it is sunny, I get a free, as a farmer action right here, I get a free plant action, which we're going to look up here at our plant row, which everything over, like right here is free, and then each of these costs money to plant. I'm going to take the free plant, and this is where some efficiency already, before we've even taken actions, will start to come into play. So if I plant here, there's a couple of things that can happen. One, if I plant beside that, I get a free tend. Now a tend takes this level, or worth only 1 coin potato garden, and grows it to where I can flip it and place it here. And this is one thing I'm not a big fan of in this game, is that sometimes things just don't fit very well. But I've got it in there. There's it's now worth 4 coins. And also, whenever I plant, this is what this little I believe it's a plow. Yep, a plow allows me to do, as long as, and these equipment need cows beside them to work, and all 3 of these have cows beside them. Whenever I plant, I get to plant something beside it for free. So I'm going to spend 1 coin to get one of the next 2 things, as long as I plant it beside this. And so I'm going to plant this right here. As long as it's touching it, we're good. There we go. Okay. Easy peasy. So now now that we've done that, we need to do our event. So we're going to take this card that's right here in the event deck, which you will be adding cards to this, a whole bunch. There are hundreds of event cards. So the game will last you a long time in terms of story. So we're going to flip this over, and I'm going to place it right here. A wild crop. Some of the fairy sprites direct a group of townsfolk to an unexplored area in the forest. It opens up to a meadow that reveals a bevy of naturally grown vegetables. They'll appear hardy and able to grow through all types of weather conditions. Gain 1 food. Okay, so I'm going to go up here to the track, and I'm going to move food up 1, which is what we have the most of currently. I don't have a whole lot of building supplies. Actually, I don't remember which of these is which, but I just know that they're represented by icons. But anyway, we flipped over sun. We got an event that this one was a pretty simple event. Some of them require choices. Some of them are consequences of choices that we made, which this might have been. I don't know for sure. But we now take this card after we've accomplished it and we put it back in the box. Now it is time for my very first town action. So in the daytime, now that we've done the weather effects, we've checked the season effect, we've determined all that with the weather, we get to go into the town and perform an action. Now, I can go and do a number of things. I can go here, and I can spend coins to help out the town in some way. The farmer is really good at getting food, and not so good at getting culture, and that's okay, because we've built the chapel, which gives us 1 culture at the end of each season. But we don't want to go there, because we don't need to for right now. Instead, I kind of want to save my money, and I'll explain why in a little bit. I would normally go and hire some workers, but I think for now, what I'm going to do is go on an adventure. So the adventure space takes us to the adventure deck, which everything is always right here. We're gonna flip up the adventure that we have next. All right, so in a scruffed old scroll case, half buried beneath a boulder, you find a weathered map with a red X. Indicate which town location you think the treasure is at. So, okay. It looks to be right here, like in between these two. And I don't think this is what they're thinking of, because this is not really a town spot. So we're going to indicate number 11, and then we're going to flip this. So if you chose 11, haha, yes. Okay, you found the treasure. If the spot hasn't been discovered, discover the land for free, including the bonus, gain 10, and a level 1 skill action at no cost. Okay, that kind of hurts. Because I've already discovered all level 1 skill actions. So that part we're not going to get, but we are going to get to discover this location. Ah, cool. Okay, so it looks like I get to bump up. Yeah, it looks like I get to bump up my hired sprites and hired humans. So both of these dice are going to get to go to 2. And also, it says that I gain 10 coins, which is huge. I am so rich right now. I think I have 39 coins. So this gets returned to the box, and so does this adventure. So now, in case I should have done this at the beginning, but at the beginning of each season, you're going to have a goal that you will have determined the round before, and I chose this one: construct 1 building with a prerequisite. If I was 3 players or more, construct 2 buildings with a prerequisite. I didn't do this one I chose this one because I do have a lot of stuff, and so I thought it would be pretty easy to build one of these 2 available from the trees that I'm going off of. Both of them have prerequisites, and they're not that expensive. So I think by the end of this season, it's going to be really, really easy to get that done. We're not going to focus on that the first 2 days. My focus, however, when I go to my player board, which is the next thing that we're going to do, is to build a petting zoo. Now, that is just a goal that I set for myself, but the petting zoo costs 30 coins, but if I build it next to 4 animals, it's going to be active and it's going to get me a grand total of 15 coins per end of season, which I think is just massive. Like that's incredible. If I can just set that up somewhere and kind of leave it alone, like that's going to get me so many coins to be able to do other things at the beginning of each season. Oh wait, it costs 35. So 35, which actually is great because I have 39 right now. And so what I think we're going to do, we got to pay attention as the farmer to the weather. So if I can perform any basic action, but if I perform it next to something that allows me to activate the skill based on the weather, then it's perfect. So this right here would allow me to tend and then harvest. And I think I'll save that because I don't really need to do that right now. I need to check though on my adventure. It indicated here an orange icon. So as my farmer action, which I'm about to take, it must be a farmer action down here, which does help me quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this action right here, which is an equipment action. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase for 35 coins, which, wow, that is the most I've spent in this game ever. 35 coins. I'm left with a measly 4 coins left. I'm going to make the petting zoo. And because it is next to, it indicates right here how many adjacent livestock I need. If I place it right here, it's going to have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 beside it, which is great. This is going to get flipped, which means at the end of season, I'm going to get 15 coins, which only matters if you're willing to play this game a whole bunch, which basically after 2 plays, if I play it a third time, I will have made all my money back and then some. And then it's only profit from there. Great news. So now I get to take my hired workers action, and I get to use both of these dice, and they both have to go in the spots that they are. And as I put them in there, they're going to rotate down until they are 0, and then I will re-roll them and place them out there. So this one was a 2. I think I'm going to take my sprites action first. That makes more sense to me. I'm going to plant, I think. Oh, yeah. No, I see. Well, I see a combo that I can do. So right here is where we're going to... This game is hard sometimes because it's like, I really want to do everything. Never mind. There's too many of these up here that aren't tended, and I need to tend. So I'm going to tend right here. This is going to tend, and because it's sunny, I'm going to get to do a free harvest action, which is great. So tending, I'm going to tend this thing of, I think, green beans. And I'm going to turn it over, and I'm not going to waste too much time placing it back because I'm immediately going to harvest it with my harvest action. So tending flips over harvesting. I don't get anything extra from tending. None of these activate when I'm tending. However, harvesting, I harvest this for 4 coins. So I'm going to trade in this 1 coin for 5. And then when I take a harvest action, I can activate this right here, which is my, I think it's a sickle. And whenever a harvest occurs, I can harvest something adjacent to it for free. So I'm going to harvest these potatoes as well. And that's going to get me 4 more coins. So I'm going to trade in this 1 for another 5. And so now I have 12 coins, just like that. And then I'm going to use this guy to, I think, now that I've built this up here, it's time to start thinking about the future. So I'm going to go here with the livestock. I'm going to, no, because I need livestock for future things. I'm going to leave them alone for now. I think what I'm going to do is start getting rid of more of these weeds that keep growing back. And so I'm going to go here for the harvest. And I'm going to spend 5 coins. This is how getting rid of weeds works. I'm going to spend 5 coins to get rid of this token. I'm going to save it because at the end of the round, I'm always going to be drawing back some to place, which does stink. And then I'm going to 2 weather tiles, or tokens, or weather cards, wow. And I'm going to have to choose which one we do next. So this one gets me an event. They're both going to be rainy days, which, maybe I should have saved buying equipment until tomorrow, but I can't do that now. So I don't need to do an event just yet. I'm going to place them back in the order that I want. We're going to do the Well, you know what? We're only going to do 2 days with you guys. I'll show you some more events. So we'll do that next. So both of these I just sold. They go back into my bag. Then, end of day stuff, we're going to return our character from the adventure stuff. These hired workers are going to come off their spots. And then we're going to replenish the crop market. Now, when we replenish, I'm going to draw 2 to replace the ones that we did just use. But these do slide down, which is nice. And they all come in always on their untended side. So it's just like if you planted a crop, you got to tend to it to make it better. But those are our crops that are going to be available to us next day. Now we go all the way back up to dawn. It's the next morning on this beautiful spring day. We're going to draw this card, and I said beautiful, but I knew it was going to be raining the next day. So, and we're going to get whatever event 64 is. So here we go. Okay. So, signs of the past. It seems strange now to think back to a time when the town wasn't regularly visited by sprites. They're not commonplace yet, but can often be seen here and there, mostly keeper sprites, but you do see the others sometimes too. If that's not strange enough, some of the old stoneworks you found across the town include carvings of even strange creatures. What look like elves, centaurs, gnomes, and a pair of hairy figures? They all seem to be caring for the valley in the depictions. Where are they now? Gain 1 culture, and then shuffle in event 65. So this is something that's been happening quite a bit lately, is that they keep hinting at elves, and they keep hinting at, like, this is the first I've heard of centaurs and gnomes, but it's clear that this valley that I'm slowly building a town in used to be the home of a lot of mythical creatures. And I'm wondering, beyond these sprites that we keep seeing, if I will see those too, and that would be really cool. But we'll see. So this is going to go in. It's gain 1 culture, and then I'm going to shuffle in as event 65, and this is kind of how the story progresses. All right, we got event 65 right here. We're going to shuffle it up, and we'll put our events right back there. All right, so now I get to take a day action, which with only 7 coins, we definitely don't want to go here. I'm running out of workers, so I think my best bet would be to hire some. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to spend 2 coins to hire this sprite because he has the highest amount of actions I can use them for. These guys I re-rolled earlier, and they're awful. Hopefully I can get an event that will like raise them up infinitely, which is sometimes that happens. But I'm going to go there. I'm going to leave my guy here, and then I get to take a free action because I hired a sprite. It does mean that I need to take one of these upper actions. It's a rainy day, so these 2 are not going to help me. This would. But still, I think I'm going to take the plant action. So I'm going to plant... I'm going to plant right here, which again, if we remember, if we plant adjacent to that, it flips over to its tended side with this equipment. Then I can also activate this, which if I plant, I can get a free plant action. It's not free, I still have to pay for the plant, but it is something that I can do for free. So I'm going to pay 1 to get this, I think. Hold on. I'm going to show you some wombo combos here. So if I plant here, it then is also planted beside this, which means I can flip it. And whenever I flip one that doesn't flip exactly the way it was before, I can, as long as one part of it is touching where the space was before. So if it was like this, I can flip it, and then boom, we're beside that. We get to be tended, and so now it is worth 4 coins. So I just planted 9 coins worth of stuff for 1 coin, which feels real powerful. So now we get to use our sprites. This was 1. I did not mean to do that. Let's see here. I'm gonna plant some more. So we're gonna plant. We're gonna spend all of our coins basically. We're gonna spend 1 to plant right here. The reason I did that is because I want to pay the 2 coins for this guy to plant right here, which activates basically both of these things again. It's going to get flipped to its better side, and then it's also prepared to bounce off of this whenever I sell things, which is what I'm going to do next. But first, because I spent the last of this sprite, I'm going to roll it. Boom. There we go, a 3 sprite. And then I'm going to take this guy who's going to go here, and I'm going to sell some things. So I'm going to sell this 5 pointer, because that makes sense to me, because I need some coins. And then I'm also going to activate this, which is going to allow me to sell this for 3. So I'm going to get 8 coins. So, or not 8 coins, 3 more coins, because I already got my 5. So now I'm up to 9 coins. And then this gets re-rolled. It's a 3. Oh my gosh, I'm getting lucky with rolls. All right, and then this is going to get placed as well. I think my best bet is to sell. So oh wait, he went there. So he was covering that. I cannot take that action. I don't think I can take the same. But I will tend. I'll go here, which will move this down to 1. And this will get flipped to a 4. Good old potatoes. Tasty potatoes. All right. So now what we get to do is I'll return my farmer. And that is the first 2 days of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think, yep, 8 more days, which at the beginning of the game I only had 9, but now we have 10 because of some extra cool things that happened as I played the game. But this game is awesome. And I would do what I just did, 8 more rounds. In it, I would try to make sure that I would construct 1 building, which I can do so by going here and spending the resources located on those locations, which I will do before I finish this season, because the behind each goal card, which I'll just show you this one, I'm going to get to see it, which is kind of cheating, but that's okay. If I accomplish it, I get the stuff at the top. I will discard this card and then add a new goal card, which is always going to be a little bit harder. Or if I lose, I'm going to lose 1 coin and return a forest card to a town location and destroy a building if necessary. So that is always something that kind of takes away. Like it's pretty common that if you fail this, the forest grows back, and so it helps. It really helps you get the game going further if you make sure that you accomplish these goals. And I like this because this is, in my mind, my win-loss condition, and I'll definitely be doing that before the end of this season. But that is Mythwind in 2 days. Well, that's it. That is 2 days as the farmer in Mythwind. I hope that you got to see kind of how this game just ramps. It gets better the more you play it, the more time you sink into it, it's more exciting and the more complex the game grows to be. If you enjoyed this content on Mythwind and it made you interested in the game at all, I highly recommend you go check out the Kickstarter page, which probably has a link to a few other awesome videos talking about it as well, that you could go and you can decide for yourself, is this a game for you? As for us and Tablenauts, if you enjoyed this video, or if you want to hear more of this accent, let me know down in the comments. And we really do hope that you had a good time watching us and that y'all will come back. All right now.